We continue to monitor the situation on Westbury and Coronationville, where protesters are calling for a permanent solution to the water crisis. Now, community members in Coronationville are alleging that police shot at children and the elderly during the protest in the area. Now, the situation remains tense as residents demand answers. Here's SABC News reporter Lopang Alamu, who joins us from Coronationville this hour. So, Lopang, so much has happened over the past 24 hours as the story continues to develop. Would it be safe to say the situation remains critical but stable?
Policy, that's correct. It's still quite tense. However, we have not yet seen any confrontation. Really just a physical confrontation between the police and the protesters. We did note earlier on these particular residents and protesters demanding a certain police officer to leave this particular protest area. This because it's alleged that he is the one who shot at the elderly and the children during the tense protest action yesterday. Now, the officer, from what we understand, has left, and we also did speak to Colonel Mavela Masondo from the South African Police Service, who says that they are looking into those allegations made by these particular protesters. But he also just pleaded with the protesters to allow people who are not involved in this protest to access this particular hospital right behind us, the Rahima Musa Hospital, for emergency services, for example. We did also note that the protesters, having blocked roads and all of that, they have allowed the emergency vehicles, including your police vehicles and your ambulances, to access this area. We're going to speak now to one of the residents here. We do know that the pressing issue here is the water crisis, and we also, just to note, Mpolisi did hear Mavela Masondo saying that they are expecting the provincial commissioner to make his way here with regard to that police brutality situation. However, he also did say that they've been trying to contact someone, representative from Johannesburg's water, to come and address the residents. Papa Hukhandit, and I just want to know from your side, what has happened as a resident in the last 24 hours? Have you been able to speak to any representative from Johannesburg Water?
Yes, what actually happened last night to me, I was going home to Claremont at Brown Road on the corner of Brown and Princess. The police just grabbed me, assaulted me, here's the marks in my face, assaulted me and threw me into a van, looked like I'm nothing. Took me to the Sophiatown police station and nothing happened. They just disappeared. Nobody laid charges against me or anything. I had to see my way home.
So all these marks on your face, these are assault by police officers last night?
Yes, assaulted from police officers. They were covered. I couldn't see their faces. I couldn't see the name tag because it was a bit dark. And I'm a chronic patient. I had 3 heart attacks and they treat me like I'm nothing.
So they put you in a police van, and then what happened thereafter?
Some security guards came there. Because I was making a noise in the van, they said they will pepper spray me. And just not being further injured, I kept quiet. We stood about an hour there in Brown and Princess, and then they got into the van and they took me to the police station. Lucky somebody from the community followed the van and assisted me. But there's been no charges laid against me. I'd like to know, I want to lay charges against the police for this in my face, for being assaulted.
Thank you so much. This is just really, Mpolisi, one of the residents and protesters yesterday who say that he was assaulted by police yesterday. He also claims to have been put into a police van and that he was mistreated and manhandled. I'm going to move out of shot just to kind of give you an idea as to what is currently happening. You'd also notice school-going children also present at this particular protest. We spoke to the residents who say it's been quite hard for the past 3 weeks or so to basically just live in their homes without access to water. They're also demanding that a representative make their way because they will not stop protesting until that particular situation has been resolved. Now, we are at this point still only in Westbury, and from what we understand, this is a community that's plagued by a number of service delivery issues, your electricity at times, your water, as you'd note, today's protest, and also gang-related violence. Each year or so, we see some kind of protest regarding a certain service delivery problem or a crime issue in this particular area. So Westbury is not really foreign to these kind of problems. And you'd also hear those chants, these children saying they want to go to school. They are here with their parents who claim that they are unable to sustain their livelihoods without access to water. Now, you'll also notice a police presence in the area. The police have just asked the residents to remain on one side of the road to ensure that the road is open for emergency vehicles, your ambulances, your police vehicles, as well as your mortuary vans. And that's the situation that is currently taking place here. We will actually be on this particular stretch of the road to try and find out if a representative from Johannesburg Water will be making their way, and also really hoping that the provincial commissioner makes his way to address the brutality issues that we've seen been raised, or we've heard being raised by the residents here in Kolisi. And I think we'll leave it here for now as we try and monitor the situation.
That's Lopang Alamu on that story for us. Thanks ever so much for that update.